Let go. All right, we ended off on the 50-minute mark on the brother teach me to be priestly. We're gonna pick it right up. Ain't no play. Love to all y'all. Let's go.
This is just a little bit on the Cedar Forest, and the Gilgamesh epics. Europe was a busy city on the flat Mesopotamian plain near the banks of the Euphrates River. Remember that? You know what I'm saying? They could bring back some wood from the cedar forest. Cedar wood was special for many reasons. Cedar trees grew very tall and straight. Long timbers could be used for roof beams and doors in temples and palaces. The wood was good for building because it lasted many, many years without decaying. Basically displaying a incorruptible wood. The rich smell of the cedar wood in the palaces and the temples was very pleasant because it's also an incense. So man, y'all dig on that, man. The cedar, you know what I'm saying? The cedar drop is crazy because now we can see that these Moabite gods are the gods of the Sumerian culture. But the gods of the Sumerian culture are gods of the cedar forest. You see what I'm saying? These Moabite gods.
Okay. Sumerian culture. So that's a wonderful connection the brother's making with Moab and Samaria and their whole pantheon of gods, Enlil, Ea, Enki, all that stuff. So, but these are the Sumerian gods, which are the Moabite gods, which are the Baal and Ashereth and the same stuff that we getting out the War of the Lords and everything we getting out of Ospe. And we got the OSB. We're going to continue with the Moses drop that we was on. Then I'm back in that Prester John. We on your ass, Prester John. We on your ass, Prester John. Can't go nowhere. You can't hide in the timelines, Prester John. It's too much fun, man, when you're united. We already united. We just realizing that. We just remembering, right? So, we on your ass, Prester John. Oh, Prester John. Man, one of the funnest pieces of research I've ever, you know what I'm saying, just most exciting, journey, man, looking for this Prester John. It's amazing because everybody's been looking for Prester John. You just never heard of him, but then you're like, what? Is that really? I mean, is Prester John that lived in the tent? I mean, is he really called Lebna Dango Dawit? Which the Portuguese just simplified to David, because Dawit in Hebrew is David. And they called him the young David, like his namesake and alleged ancestor, David, King David. Are you hiding in the timelines, Prester John? Are you writing letters, Prester John? Prester John's just popping up like, hey, man, it's me, baby, 1165 A.D., Prester John. Letter of King David. The line of Davidic kings remain unbroken. So, you know what I mean? We're going to be right back with that part 10. Man, I told y'all, it's a fun thing. It's a great thing. Oh, man, don't let me get into the letter of Prester John, man. Man-eaters. I, John, priest. This is how the letter of Prester John starts. You know what I mean? And I'm always dodging a hijack because they kept trying to make him a Christian. So I know they're inserting things. I know it's been rewritten. But just focus on I, John, priest. And this is coming out of this letter of King David in 1165. And he's starting it out with I, John, priest. King of kings, Lord of lords. All right. Is this play? All right, man. We'll be right back with that, man. Don't you get me started, man. Let's go, teach, man. Let's go. Where we at? All right. We got that cedar drop. That's what we want to get out of it right quick. It's just that connection with the Enlil, Enki, Samaria. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. I just wanted to bring y'all back. Why did I do that? You know, I always gotta have that map on deck, man. Are we gamers? Are we gamers? Do we play games? Are they playing games? Are they gamers or are we gamers? And right around this Utah area where it would be, you have Samaria. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly. You know, without messing it up too much, but right here it's Samaria. All right. So pull that up, man. It's right there for you. You can click on it, click the links, click show more. You get all these links, man. Go to 432thedrop.com. Keep surfing the wave. We're here for you, Drop Nation. So we have Samaria right here where this Udall is, right here where the Moab situation would be. And it's called Samaria on your Hyborian game map. And I'm asking you, who's playing the game? I mean, they're just calling it a reality simulation from Arizona, right here where the Four Corners would be. So they're in Arizona writing this out, doing the recon and saying, yeah, back when everything was connected, back when South America, all right, Amazon South America was connected to what you're calling Africa today, what they're calling Vindia or India or Vindia, Central Vindia, Vindian Desert, all right, and what others are calling, how you say, Arabinia, Arabs, Black Arabs, Ishmael. Baal and Ashereth had this place on lock. Baal and Ashereth had this place on lock. But where did it all start? Where was Atlantis? Where was Pan and Mu? Alright? Teach. I'm with you, man. I just want to show them right quick where Samaria is, according to this reality simulation. Samaria with the northern clans and southern clans, Sumerian heartlands, western clans. Clans are tribes, northern tribes, southern tribes. Udall. Teach. We all need to learn how to be taught. We all need to learn how to teach and be taught. Peace and power, bro. Love you, man. Let's go.
I saw the God that the Israelites joined themselves to as Shittim, but they always telling us that Shittim is the acacia meadows. Okay, just to even show you, I'm gonna go right here. This verse is on about Numbers 24. It says, while the Israelites stayed at Shittim, they say, go. I'm gonna jump up a little bit. It says, then Balaam set out back home, and Balak went his way after he had, Balak hired Balaam to bless the Israelites, to curse them, but instead he blessed them. So they went their way while the Israelites stayed at Shittim. The people went a whoring with the Moabite women. Let's click on Shittim. You see that Bel Shittim. See, was an ancient city east of the Jordan River in Moab. Abel Shittim, meaning meadow of acacia, found only in Numbers 33:49, but Ha-Shittim, meaning the acacia is the same place. So they telling us that Shittim means acacia, but we can see that it clearly is talking about these cedar trees. All right, this is on Balak right here. Balak was the king of Moab who hired Balaam to curse the children of Israel. This is a different tab though. Balak Parsha is different. It's different from the other block, but it's the same person, but it just has different information. So this right here is the reading where Balak was, the whole story of him hiring Balaam to do it, but Balaam told him he could only do what God told him to do and say what God told him to say. So when he went to go curse him, instead God told him to say a blessing. So you know what I'm saying? He did that. And so you say Balak took Balaam to the peak of Peor where they offered. See what I'm saying? So in fact, Balaam was in fact a prophet of Peor, excuse me. Peor, who is Shamash, right? The god of the cedar forest. So we're gonna keep going because we're gonna jump right here. Now, to prove that Shittim course, check this out. Or a valley of cedar. That's what I meant to say. To prove it's a valley of cedar, check this out right here. Okay, it say Psalms 1:3 interprets the word cedars beside the waters in Balaam's blessing in Numbers 24:6. According to Psalms 1 and 3, a tree planted by the streams of water is one that brings its fruit in seasons whose leaf does not wither. So we can dig in on it. Okay, so to dig in that, right, we up here at number 25 where it says Israel abode in Shittim. So let's just go one chapter back. Alright, check this out. Okay, so one chapter back in Numbers 24, in Numbers chapter 24 it says, when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not as the other times to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. It says, and Balaam lifted up his eyes. Hold on. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel abiding in his tents, according to their tribes. And the Spirit of God came upon him. And he took his parable and said, Balaam, son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open hath said, he hath said which heard the words of God, which saw the visions of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So now he's sitting up here on a, remember what he did to that? We're going to go back a little bit. Okay. Balaam views the Israelites on the plain below. He's at the mountain of Pharoah or the Cedar Mountain. You know what I'm saying? But it says, so at this mountain where he's looking at the children and thinking to curse them, and he blesses them instead. Continuing reading, he says, how goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys, look at this, as the valleys are spread forth as gardens by the river's side, as the trees of live aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the water. So look at that. Where Balaam lifted up his eyes and he saw Israel abiding in his tents, right? Where Balaam views the Israelites on the plain below, where they abode at, which was in Shittim, as it tells you right here, while the Israelites stayed at Shittim when Balak set out back home. So at the Cedar Valley, where we find them to be Cedar Valley, Balaam also says, as the valleys are they spread forth as gardens. Remember, the cedars are the gardens of God, the cedars of God, the cedars of the Lord, as gardens by the river's side, as the trees line aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. So boom.
Bang.
This place is definitely turning out to be a place of cedar trees. Okay, coming back to the Baal Peor page, we're going to click right here on Chemosh just to make sure it's referring to Shemesh as it did further below. Or Shemash, shall I say. Chemosh was the god of the Moabites. The etymology of Chemosh is unknown. It is speculated to be related to the name of the Babylonian deity Shamash. He is also known from Elba as Kamish. Chemosh was the national deity of the Moabites, whose name meant like destroyer, subduer, or fish god. Okay? So boom, you dig on that. According to the Hebrew Bible, the worship of this god is the abomination of Moab. Right? On the Moabite stone, Mesha. So let's dig on that, man. Chemosh, man, is Shamash. Okay? Shamash is the god of the cedar forests. Chemosh is the god of Moab. It's well as the abomination of Moab. So when the Israelites joined themselves to Baal Peor, which is Shemesh, they joined themselves to a cedar forest god in the place of the incorruptible wood, or the cedar wood. Wow. Remember, Israel abode in Shittim.
Get him.
Okay, so we right here at Baal Fagar. Baal Fagar. This is the name of Baal Peor that's in the Britain Septuagint. This is how the Britain Septuagint says the name. And on this page it says, in demonology, remember, demonology, Lord of God, Baal Fagar is a demon, one of the 7 princes of hell, who helps people make discoveries. He seduces them by suggesting ingenious inventions to make them rich. All kind of stuff that probably the most I ain't really dealing with. Baal Fagar originated as the Assyrian Baal Peor. Mm-hmm. The Moabitish god whom the Israelites became attached in Shittim.
Now, hold up. I was going to wait to pull this out. I was going to pull this out later. If I even have it up now. There we go. Now, who was Prester John? All right. Why is it related? Why does Prester John play? Because Prester John was known to have the fountain of youth, right? Prester John was known to be the man at the fountain of youth. And this ain't part 10 of Prester John, because, I mean, you'll know when this is part 10 of Prester John. But we just surfing the wave of my bro. So, did a black man discover the fountain of youth? Prester John. Alright, so I ain't gonna get into it, because this ain't part 10. But, did the black man discover the fountain of youth? Then you got Solomon, King Solomon, all about this fountain of youth. Then you got the timeline situation, which they may be contemporaries if we push it into the, 1165 AD situation. Remember the parallel timelines? You got the link. I'm not going to play it. I won't do that. Not right now. This ain't part 10. But in part 10, I might play it again. I might play it every part. Nope. I'm not going to do it. See, they tried to trick me. Anyway, man. All right, so. Found the youth. Where were we? Where you at? Come on, man. Don't you play. Don't you do me like that. Oh. It's being a little refused to connect. Defeasy. Links just be going bad out of nowhere, man. You be having them up and then you come back to them and they become jam up Joneses. It's all good. We're going to do even better. Let's check this link out. They let us. What they trying to do? Hijack my nets? How they trying to hijack my nets? They trying to hijack my grid. They just want to play. All right, man. We're gonna come back to this link, but I'm trying to pull up a link with King Solomon and all that, the demonology situation, the control he had with the ring, the Lord of the Ring, how he had control over these demons, and how on this demon list that he has control over, you see the name Baal on it, So the same demon that my brother's pulling up right now is on the list of the demons that King Solomon has control over with the ring. Now he's this Moabite god, right? And we're talking about here. And we're talking about Prester John. Let's go.
which associated the licentious and orgies, and it was worshipped in the form of a phallus. As a demon, he is described in Kabbalistic writings as Peter Valley.
Hold up.
You see what I'm saying? So he's on the mountain.
Not bad.
As the disputer.
Alright, so phallus. So, you know, you got the phalluses in Egypt and all that. So then you got your Thoths and you got your Osiris. You got these same phalluses. Follow the phalluses. Follow the phalluses. Follow the ego. Follow the phallus. And you'll know who your enemies are.
Any of the six, whatever, he grants riches, power of discovery, and ingenious adventure. His role as a demon was to sow discord among men, seduce them to evil through the approaching of wealth. Now look at this, the palindromic prime number. This number right here, his number, Bell figures prime, due to its significance, containing the number 666 and enclosed by 13 zeros. This dude right here, Bell Figure, is a demon. You see what I'm saying? That's his number. 66 is his number. He's a demon, right? He's Baal Peor. Baal Peor is Shemesh or Chemosh, right? Now, remember how they call him a demon? Because if I'm not mistaken, Humbaba, the guardian of the Cedar Forest, who is called the Terrible, okay, just like the national deity of the Moabites, Chemosh, was whose name most likely meant destroyer or subduer. Okay, so coming back to Humbaba, right, we're gonna scroll down a little bit. Look, phallus. Remember they were talking about phallus because he's part of a licentious cult. You see what I'm saying? Okay, the demon Humbaba. Remember, Humbaba is the guardian of the cedar forests, right? It is guarded by the demigod Humbaba. The demon Humbaba was placed there by Shemesh. Shemesh is Baal Fagor. Fagor is what? Is a demon. So, that'll let you know that when our people was in this land of cedar, and they committed whoredoms of the daughters of Moab, and they joined themselves unto this demon, unto this God, our people was not happy. Our God was not happy. Excuse me. Yeah, all right. So you know what I'm saying. In conclusion, man, I just want to bring some things together. You know, just looking at this information and giving all thanks and praise to the Most High.
Hey.
What I'm saying, what we can take from it, man. And I'm gonna share this with y'all because I love y'all. But I'm gonna tell you, man, don't it seem like every time we leave a captivity, every time we have an exodus, right? It seems like we go into a place of cedar, you know what I'm saying, a place of cedar. Cedar land, cedar forests. When we left Assyrian captivity, we went into Arsharif, which is literally means cedar forest, just like when we left Egyptian captivity and we abode in Shittim and was worshiping gods of the cedar forest. You see what I'm saying? So it's like every time we leave captivity, we go to a place of cedar trees, man. You know what I'm saying? And this place in Utah right here, just looking at it, it has all the places and the names of Moab, but it also has the Cedar Valley. You see what I'm saying? It also has the Cedar Forests, Cedar Mountains, Cedar City. You see what I'm saying? Cedar Creek, Cedar National Monument Park. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to really think about, man, because like I say, every time we leave captivity, you always got to go in the wilderness and get cleansed and get purged before you step into the Holy Land. So we go amongst the sacred trees, the holy cedar wood that purifies, cleans the air. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Has all type of ceremonial ritualistic properties to it. And not only that, but guess what? The cedar is an incorruptible wood, right? Remember it said the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, was like a cedar in Lebanon. You know how the Bible always compares us to trees, because, you know, we are trees. You know, you got a family tree, you have children. That's like your roots, your branches that branch off from your loins. So, you know what I'm saying, we might have to go into a place of cedar during the Exodus, because we must be incorruptible wood. We must be incorruptible trees. We must be hijack free. You see what I'm saying? We must be incorruptible by these false Baals, these false gods, you know what I'm saying, these false customs and religions and all of that, you know what I'm saying, that we joined ourselves to. We must be like the cedars and be incorruptible. Okay, so I just want to say love, man, you know what I'm saying? Kind of concluding the video with some pictures of Zion National Park, Utah, for those of y'all who stayed with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give y'all this jewel, whether you've known it or not. If you have, that's cool. But just to piece it together and you know, just thinking about our exodus and our salvation from this wicked system, this wicked captivity. Check this out. We're going to go back over to the east sword, and we're going to go to 2nd Maccabees. And we're going to go and read verses 4. Start at verse 4. Right here, and it says, "It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of God, commanded the tabernacle, the ark, to go with him." This is speaking of the prophet Jeremiah. You want to see? It says, "So, being warned of God, commended the tabernacle and the ark of the covenant to go with him, as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of God." So the prophet took the ark and the tabernacle to where Moses climbed up and seen the heritage of God. And when Jeremy, speaking of the prophet Jeremiah, and when Jeremiah came thither, he found a hollow cave, wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. So he put these right here in this hollow cave he found. That's at where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage. And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, to try to mark it, but they could not find it. Which when Jeremiah perceived, he blamed them. When he saw what they were doing, he blamed them, saying, "As for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that God gather his people again and receive them unto mercy." You know what I'm saying? So, give all thanks and praise to the Most High, because the Ark of the Covenant is supposed to remain unknown and hidden until God gathers his people to get together, when he gathers his people again together and receive unto mercy. So when his people start to make that exodus out of captivity, you see what I'm saying? He receives them unto mercy and brings them back. They're supposed to go to this place and recover the Ark of the Covenant. You see what I'm saying? Which is at where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of God. Which, according to what we read and what we know, we can find that place, right? "And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountain of Nebo to the top of Pisgah that is over against Jericho, and the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan." You know what I'm saying? Jump down to verse 4, it says, And the Lord said unto him, "This is the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, saying, I will give it unto thy seed. This is the inheritance right here. I have caused thee to see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not go thither." So the mountain in which Moses saw the inheritance of God, which he saw right here, as we know, is the plains of Moab. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, looking at this place right here, Zion National Park, you got Moab, Utah, Pisgah, Utah, Mount Nebo, Utah. You see what I'm saying? You got Cedar City, Cedar Valley, Cedar Mountain, Cedar Breaks, National Monument. You see what I'm saying? So, could this be a possible place where we might need to be? Shoot, man. All praise to the Most High. Y'all brothers been on it. You feel what I'm saying? We might definitely need to be in this place or places like it. You know, like the brother 422 job, he's saying that if you don't come to Utah, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna make it or something like that. But we might definitely got some business to take care of here. You see what I'm saying? So y'all dig on that, man. Let me know what's up. It's your boy Teach Me to Be Priestly. You know what I'm saying? We out. Give all thanks and praise for the day. Until next time. Oh, hold on, family. I ain't done. I forgot I got to do one more thing. Now check this out. It say Hebrew priests were ordered by Moses to use the bark of the Lebanon cedar.
Man, hold up, man. I mean, ain't that a beautiful encore? Because all of us, are really surfing his wave, and his brother's like pinpoint accurate with this. He's throwing nothing but alley-oops. I mean, that's how we really working together. Everything we doing, you know what I'm saying, that y'all gonna see what's popping. Y'all gonna see what Drop Nation is. It's us. Like you said, we never said, oh, go to Utah or perish. We're just a group forming a community, setting an example that others are going to do. Across the plain, form your community. You know what I'm saying? Go on your land, purchase your land, do what you got to do, but start getting off of this, vibration, this vibration that is a slave Thoth vibration, the lowest level vibration you're on. You start getting into your area, start camping, start figuring out again, man. You got to get free. You got to free yourself. And once you do, you're going to hear again. All right, so, man, let's get this encore, man. We're going to get into some Moses drop out of that OSB.
And the treatment of leprosy. The Hebrew prophet Isaiah used Lebanon cedar as a metaphor for pride of the world. Now check this out. The Hebrew priests were ordered by Moses to use the bark of the Lebanon cedar to treat as a treatment for leprosy. So we all know leprosy is the losing of pigmentation of melanin, right?
Wow.
So check this out now. The Most High tells, the priest, he orders the priest to use the bark from the Lebanon cedar to treat leprosy. Now we uncovered that in the last series that Lebanon means whiteness, because we know Laban, his name itself means white. Mm-hmm. So Lebanon means whiteness. So he tells them to use the bark of the tree of whiteness to cleanse whiteness, right? Because even if you look at it, Lebanon, right? There's no vowels in the Hebrew, right? So you will write it LBN. Let me do it up here for you. It will be Lebanon, right? LBN. Now, leprosy, we can equate leprosy to albino or albinism, right? But when you look at these words, albino is to be white. You see what I'm saying? You look at the baby down here, the African albinos. Look at the white baby. So, okay, if Hebrew don't got vowels, the same way we did with Lebanon, you write the consonants, and it's what? L, B, N. It's the same thing as Laban. So with the cedars of whiteness,
wow.
You see what I'm saying? With the cedars of whiteness, the bark of the cedars of whiteness, you were able to cleanse the leprosy or the albinism or the whiteness, the diseased whiteness. Now check this out. Check out this link right here that somebody sent me. It says Myth of the Cedars of Lebanon. Look at this quote by Juan Valera. It says, if in the end I should conquer, glorious will be the victory, but I shall owe it to the Queen of Angels, under whose protection I place myself. She is my refuge and my defense, the tower of the house of David, on whose walls hang innumerable shields and the armor of many valiant champions. Check this out. The cedars of Lebanon, which puts the serpent to flight. Alright, now we're going to jump over here to Revelation 12 just real quick. Speaking about the woman.
Ooh, go ahead, man.
The woman.
Come on, man.
Symbolizes the children of Israel.
Get them.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can catch that. I'm going to just jump right here to verse 6. It says, and the woman fled into the wilderness. Right? Children of Israel fled into the wilderness, where she have a place prepared of God. Right? Waiting on it. That they should feed her there 1,200 and 60 days. Right? Now this has some reference to Daniel. So check that out. Okay? And there was a war in heaven, which is also mentioned in Daniel. And Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. And check this out. And prevailed not, neither at their place found any more in heaven. Jump down to verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. So, you know what I'm saying? Children of Israel go into the wilderness. Go up a little bit. Okay, right here. Children of Israel flee into the wilderness, right? Where they got a place prepared to them of God. Right? And where the old serpent is defeated. Right? Where the old serpent is defeated. Now the old serpent who deceived the whole world. Who deceived the whole world? Huh? Is it somebody who probably look like they got leprosy or something? Huh? And you cleanse leprosy, albino or whiteness with the Lebanon cedar? Huh? And the cedar.
And that's why they cut down all our trees. Body bag. For the illusion. I mean, is this like was the crystal of these crystal trees, these silicon trees, and even just the straight up, carbon-based cedars, But when we get to our sacred trees, we're talking about silicon crystal trees. Yeah, man, Avatar type stuff, man. And is this cedar or this crystal or this vibration, it was protecting us. And that's why they cut down all our trees.
There's a Lebanon which pushed the serpent to flight. Hey, get your ass to the land of them cedar trees, man. So we can get up out of here. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, man, yeah. Hey, man, that's that brother Teach, man. If you ain't subscribed to Teach, you ain't about the trees, man. You ain't about the cedar drop, man. We're gonna jump right into it, cause we ain't no play. We're gonna keep it going from last time. If you don't know what last time is, then man, go back to the previous drop. But we are in page, was it 7 or 535 of that OSB, a new Bible in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors. 31. So Moses and his brother Aaron traveled about in the land of Egypt, calling together Rabban families and explaining to them and urging the people to get ready and depart out of Egypt. He said, man, it's time to go. What are we saying now? Man, it's time to go. You got your elections coming up. You know it ain't looking cool. You know what I mean? So everyone's mind, at least you should be meditated on the same thing you was telling them to meditate on. Departing out of bondage. Egypt is bondage. Depart out of bondage. For 3 years they thus labored. And it became known far and near that the project was on foot. And the oracles of the Egyptians prophesied that when the Israelites were once out of the country, they would unite with the kingdoms whereto Moses had been ambassador, and then return and overpower the Egyptians. So they said, oh, hell no, we can't let them go because they're going to unite and overpower us. Why don't you think they want to let us go? Remember, we are prisoners of war, according to the 1452 Diversas Papal Bull, Pope Nicholas V. Look it up, click on the links below. And in order to stigmatize Moses, they said he fled away from Pharaoh's palace because he had seen two men, an Egyptian and an Israelite, fight. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come with it. I want to, yeah, okay. So if you're saying it's a different story, look, man, let's just get real trill and real for a minute. Let's just be real ones, a family of real ones together. We've been hijacked, y'all. Let's just gather around the campfire. Let's just talk for a second, brothers and sisters. Love or hate, let's just talk. All those that have been invaded, come around the campfire. Let's talk for a second. Burn your frankincense. Burn your mirth. Let's go. We've been invaded. We've been invaded. We've been hijacked and we've been given doctrine. There's been spells. We've been taught a language of spells. We've been put in grammar school, spell school. Grammar school is grammar is a spell school. A-E-I-O-U is a spell, a powerful spell. Love to M.A. Truth, man, for keeping it going, man. Yeah, man. Getting it all going. Love to, man, everybody, man. But look, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. So we've been hijacked. So we have to be willing to take a step back as prisoners of war and start to really unpeel these layers and say, all right, well, how do I find or get what's hijacked free? And the truth is that your vibration should be resonating at a point where you know when you're being lied to. You know when you're reading something and somebody's deceiving you and they're talking about, oh yeah, you're on a ball of water spinning, but you've never seen experimentation or a picture or a video and you don't feel like you're spinning, yet you can feel the slightest breeze on an autumn day, but you don't feel 1,100 miles per hour of spinning or traveling at 67,000 miles per hour. You don't feel that because of gravity. That is a theory, not a law. You don't just feel it. You go off of theories. Well, if we're going to go off of theories, then let's have some theories of our own. And according to the book of the Ark of Ba, in here, in OSB, Words of Jehovah, hey, in order to stigmatize Moses. So, let's back up. So the oracles of the Egyptians, right? Thoth in them, Osiris in them, right? Prophesied that when the Israelites were once out of the country, they would unite with the kingdoms whereto Moses had been ambassador. So the kingdoms, the other Israelite kingdoms, and then return and overpower the Egyptians. So in order to stigmatize Moses, they said he fled. Oh, he just ran away from Pharaoh's place because he saw two men, an Egyptian and Israelite, fighting, and that Moses slew the Egyptian and buried him in the sand, and that the recorders thus entered the report in the recorder's house. Moses went, just like the Prince of Egypt, right? Just like the movie, right? Moses was of tender heart, and he inquired of the Great Spirit, saying, so he inquired of hey, right? Will ever a voice of justice speak in my behalf? Hey, through his angel answered Moses, saying, suffer thy enemies to put on record what they will. Let them lie on you. I mean, you ever been lied on before? Huh? Anybody ever lie on you? Anybody you know? Suffer thy enemies to put on record what they will, for the time will surely come when the truth shall be revealed unto men. Oh, it always reveals itself, doesn't it? According to the Creator, hey, all that is existence. Pursue thy course, for it shall be shown that thus or thee dost still visit the king, wherefore You know, it's a little fuzzy over here, but it looks like hats. Something like that. Thou fled as the record state. Alright, so he's saying, had you fled like as the record state, thou would not return with the report hanging over thy head. In those days, Egypt was a land of glory and of misery. Bondage, Egypt, bondage, misery. Hardly is it possible for words. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. All right, yeah, this is written funny. These are page breaks, so you got to start at the middle of the page. For words to describe the splendor of which the nobles lived, of their palaces and chariots and a thousand books might be written and yet not reveal all of the splendor of Egypt, right? Abyssinia. And as to the members of the king's court, so grand were they that many of them stood not on the ground for 1 year's end to the other, but caused carpets to be spread wherever they desired to walk. Oh, ancient Atlantis. And as to their chariots, they were bound with silver and gold and set with precious stones of the royal court and the nobles. There were 2,480, and they owned and possessed everything in Egypt, which was the richest country in the world. The next in rank were the masters, who were servants and tenants to the court, to the courtiers and nobles, and the third in rank were the faithists, called Israelites, who were servants under the masters. So they were third in rank there in Egypt. When we have a pyramid on the back of a dollar, they seem to be hijacking that frequency and using that frequency, the same frequency that had these faithists called Israelites, under the same spell barrier Thoth vibration. Oh, you think Thoth was just playing when he said he put a slave vibration on you, Negro? Well, according to this reality simulation, it's very small, but right here on the far so-called east of South America, it says Thoth Amon spell barrier. Thoth Amon spell barrier right under Sabia. And there's a lot of drop around this Sabia. And that's right near the Zimbabwe marshes. So this is all in Iranistan. And under Persia, which is here, connected to South America, is Thoth Amon spell barrier, which cuts off the land of no return. Come on. So you were third in rank. Well, what rank are you here in this Egypt? And it was against the law for anyone to call a meeting of Israelites or to incite them against servitude to the masters. All right, my fellow Negroes, what did they do to us whenever we wanted to meet? Whenever we didn't want to be slaves anymore? Does history repeat itself? Has it repeated itself? Are we making another Exodus? For which reason Moses and Aaron violated the law of the land, nor dared any man to arrest them, because Moses bore with him the king's seal. So they're talking about the land of Egypt, the law of the land of Egypt. Of the miseries of the land of Egypt, they hath never been told, nor ever shall be, for they were of the nature of the flesh, and of such kind that one may not mention them fully, for the history would also involve the beasts of the fields, and dogs, male and female, and goats also. I mean, you make your mind up around that. Suffice it, the people were victims of evil spirits and had descended to such unnatural practices as poisoned the flesh, which became inhabited with vermin. There was some brothers a while back that did some drop, man, that showed how the life expectancy of Egypt at that time was only like 30 years old. And they had running sores, and only evil practices alleviated the pains. The people were subject to entrancement by evil spirits. So they were subject because of their grade, their level. In the Emerald Tablets, Thoth says, go to the land of the barbarians, where you can look up Barbaria and Tartaria, right there where, Morocco is today and all the Northern Africa situation. But really, covered much more than that in the land of Cham, Magnus Cham, Zingis Cham, Khan. The people were subject to entrancement by evil spirits, and later appeared amongst the people, talking to themselves corporal forms for evil's sakes, also eating and drinking with mortals daily. Talking to themselves. You see people every day walking around talking to themselves, and you be like, man, they must be high on something. But sometimes they are entranced with evil spirits. When Moses beheld these things, he prayed to Heya for wisdom and strength, for thousands and thousands of Israelites were becoming afflicted in the same way. Heya answered Moses, saying, because of the abundance of evil spirits in this land, it is impossible for my chosen to dwell herein. What do you think the Creator is saying now? Because of the abundance of evil angels in this land here in America and all over, it is impossible for my chosen to dwell herein. The beauties thou hast made instead of the ills and horrors around about, can they never understand what it is to sow the seed of the tree of endless delight? Have you forgotten, my brothers and sisters, how to sow the seed of the tree? Of that I can call them unto thee, hey, or that I could lift their aspiration up from the shadows of death. I would follow them into thy two great gardens, which thou hast created, that which is green, where they go and curse thee, and that is ripe, where I have found thee full of love. Because I said, sing unto him forever, pray to him with great rejoicing. They interpret me to mean words uttered as a mockingbird. Yea, they grumble forever. Man, our people grumble forever. Enough ain't enough to find thee, O hey, to glorify the good that cometh along. This is the salvation of the world. Of this my song shall never end. Without a shadow of darkness, thou wilt tune my voice forever. I will sing and dance before thee. The germ of happiness in my soul will I nurse as thy holiest gift. For of all the trees which thou hast planted in the soul of men and angels, this is the most glorious, for it is the perfection of thy voice, his voice, which singeth in all thy living creatures. Is this play? Alright. So when Aora ended his song, oh man, they hijacked us. They hijacked our story. This is so confusing sometimes, but I'm glad we read that because that was amazing. But let's get back on track. I gotta go to the middle of the page on each one. It's like two different stories going on at once. So we on verse 41. So Moses beheld these things. He prayed to Heya for wisdom and strength. For thousands and thousands of Israelites were becoming afflicted in the same way. Heya answered Moses, saying, because the abundance of evil spirits in this land, it's impossible for my chosen to dwell herein and escape affliction. Okay. But that's dope. I mean, y'all pull this up because there's so many more levels to the game. Moses explained this matter to the Israelites. Heya said, Moses, thou and thy brother shall return to the king, for he is worried concerning thee and thy labors. Behold, the nobles have complained before the king against thee. So he said, man, these people are running their mouths. They got them loose jaws, Moses. They yippity yapping and speaking that yin and that yang. Moses visited the king who was sick with the fever, and the king was on his divan at the fountain in the palace grounds. Remember this diva situation. In the glossary, you pull this up, you look up diva in the glossary, and you tell me what you find. At the fountain in the palace grounds, and the men servants were forcing water. When the king saw it was Moses, he raised up, rejoicing, and called Moses to come and sit with him. And servants ran in and told Leotonis that Moses had returned, and Leotonis came also. I believe that's the Pharaoh's daughter, and rejoiced to see Moses. Now, whilst they were talking with the king was overcome and fell in faint, whereby Moses raised him up and restored him. And then he carried the king unto the palace, in his arms carried him. Leotonis said, Moses, my son and brother, thou shalt not more leave us alone. Behold, my father is old, and he gave his heart to thee when thou wert a child. So we got the Pharaoh's daughter, you know what I mean? She was the one mainly responsible, for putting her bid in to keep Moses. She said, Dad, you promised, I can raise him up. It wasn't his wife, it was the Pharaoh's daughter. And she raised up Moses and had Moses' mother nurse him. And, when you go back a little further, you see that Moses didn't have any brothers or sisters. Other than, Aaron, his real brother, as far as the Pharaoh's son and all that stuff, and Prince of Egypt and all this other stuff. The Pharaoh's sons, this Pharaoh had no other son. You back up a few chapters, you'll read it. So this is a different story than we've been told. This Moses was really the only son of this king or Pharaoh of Egypt. They had a different relationship. So this is his sister, the daughter of the Pharaoh. And he gave his heart to thee when he was a child. So she's trying to convince him, never leave us again. Be thou to him his son. Behold, he revives in thy strong hands. Then spake the king, saying, My son, with all thy wisdom, canst thou understand a woman? Man, ain't that the truth? Moses said, Alas, O king, save the princess. I have not studied them. But why asked thou? The king replied, Leotonis had not said one word about the affairs of the kingdom. What is upmost in a woman's heart, that speaketh she first, but as to man, she speaketh first, that which lieth at the bottom of his heart. I love thee, Moses, and delight in thy presence, but my kingdom concerneth me deeply. The nobles have complained against thee, for meddling with their slaves, and for this I have desired to see thee. Moses said, The voice came to me, informing me of what thou sayest, and then commanded me to come to thee, for thou wert ill with fever. And the king replied, saying, If I should die before thou hast accomplished the migration of thy people, I fear my successor, Nu-ghan, will make it hard for thee. Tell me, therefore, how matters stand with thee. Okay. Nu-ghan. Let's just try it. Let's just see. You never know. Who's this Pharaoh? So he said, if I die. So this is the Pharaoh. This is a completely different story, man. Do y'all see that? This ain't him saying, hey, let my people go. He's talking to his pops, the only dad he knows. And he's the only son he knows. And he's saying, man, I'm trying to make this happen for you, but it's getting kind of hot in here, man. And if I go, my successor, Nu-ghan, will make it hard. So who's Nu-ghan? Yeah, so it links all the way, and this links us back to the OSB, Nu-ghan, Arabian, all breed pattern, Arabian. I'm talking about dogs. Arabian. The exodus of the Hebrews, Moses and Pharaohs. Who was Moses? Pharaoh, Pharaoh's daughter, and Nu-ghan. So it's getting back into the ark of Bond. The languages of the learned were Phoenician, Parsian, but the native languages were Egyptian, Arabic, Ostan, and Simis. The time calendar of the learned gave 2 suns, 365 days a year, but the times of the tribes of Ustia gave only 6 months to a year. The term Pharaoh, being Phoenician, was probably not absorbed into native languages of Egypt until Ahmose I. The Ezra Bible says Pharaoh in Exodus account, but it was written more than 1,000 years later. Okay. I'm trying to get to this Nu-ghan, man. Trying to get to this Nu-ghan. Yeah, I know it's a little small for y'all. I'm just trying to skip ahead a little bit. See if I can just stumble on something. I know I'm skipping drop. I don't got that much time. Got the Hyksos. Some biblical scholars also consider the 12th dynasty to be the Egypt of Moses, which is what some brothers been breaking down, not the 18th dynasty. So I want to see who this Nu-ghan is, man. Here we go. Who was Nu-ghan? Oh man, who wants to surf this wave with me? Man, who want to ride this wave with me, man? In attempting to identify Nu-ghan, it should be taken into account that a succeeding pharaoh, not related to the previous dynasty, he would have had the power and motivation to eliminate references or connections to his predecessor, whose affiliation with the hated Hebrews through his adopted son Moses would have been abhorrent to Nu-ghan. It says the book of the Ark of Bond. That's what we're reading. On the eve of the success of the Israelites, the king of Egypt, being at the point of death, sent to Moses, and Moses went to him. The king said, "It should be the Lord's will to take me off before your people are gone. You will have great bother, for my successor Nu-ghan has a great hate toward Israel." So who's Nu-ghan? So the other aspect taken into account is that by the time of Ezra, the records of Egypt were in confusion with the account of the exodus of the Hebrews was copied from the Egyptian records by Ezra 494 BCE. All right. Ahmose I was attributed a reign of 25 years, and dates of this reign differ according to various sources. Some say he reigned as early as 1567 BCE. Remember, these timelines also play for Egypt. Things have been projected in the past to make it longer and older. Let's go. Just because we're talking Egypt, I just got to play this 1 minute drop, man. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Lunar eclipse and another lunar eclipse. You can infer what the path of totality was and the whole deal from these descriptions. The creators of modern chronology, namely Scaliger and Batavius, try to astronomically solve the problem of those eclipses. We're not able to do it without leaving out some of the data provided by Thucydides, who, by the way, says he was a witness of this. So what Fomenko did, he said, let's make no presuppositions about this. Where are the exact astronomical solutions for this triad of eclipses? And there turns out to be one in the 11th century AD and one in the 12th century AD, and no others. So what Fomenko does quite regularly is he will appeal to astronomical arguments to try to determine which is the principal one, and his conclusion, and however crazy it may sound, is extraordinarily well argued, is that the only legitimate history is the modern history from about 300 on, and most of that, by the way, is from 900 on.
900
from 300 on, we got like statuary documents and things like that now.
After the 900s, things become clearer. The only legitimate history is after the 900s. So when we see a letter from King David in 1165 AD after the 900s, it's saying that, yeah, that's the real one. Listen up.
He thinks most of the things that we think of as historical events really did happen, but the question is when and where, and maybe, of course, how many times. And he thinks, well, it didn't happen 10 times, it only happened once, and most of that stuff happened after 900.
Yeah. By the way, and this is something that we need to find out more about, Fomenko applies his statistical methods not just to European history, but also to Middle Eastern history, including Egypt.
After 900.
Yeah. By the way, and this is something that we need to find out more about, Fomenko applies his statistical methods not just to European history, but also to Middle Eastern history, including Egypt.
Including Egypt.
And most of that stuff happened after 900.
Yeah. By the way, and this is something that we need to find out more about, Fomenko applies his statistical methods not just to European history, but also to Middle Eastern history, including Egypt, India, and so forth, and it's riddled with repetitions of the same kind.
So, including Egypt, India, repetitions. Who is Nu-ghan? So they're talking about Atmos. Alright, so when Atmos succeeded the Egyptian throne, he became the first pharaoh of the new dynasty and established a new order, which became known as the New Kingdom. He was credited with militaristic defeat of the rulers of the Delta region, the Hyksos, the Shepherd Kings. We're going to get into this Shepherd Kings, man. We're going to get deep into Shepherd Kings and bringing Nubia back within Egyptian domain. So he was incredible. It was pretty much rounding up all the Negroes, it seems. This hijack came and just said, let's get these Negroes. Let's get those Negroes. These are Atlanteans, people. This is Atlantean Thoth, Moses, Thoth, born of Thoth, Atlantean blood. Fallen angel hijack blood, rounding up the indigenous people. You have to see the perspective and wake up and stop being under the spell of Atlantis. Who is this Nu-ghan? Alright, man, they go in places. Don't got that much time, man. Alright. Owaspi tells us that Moses' adopted father had a daughter. It's that Leonatus, right? But no son to succeed him. He had no son, this Pharaoh. This Pharaoh had no son to succeed him. Only Moses. So it went to somebody else because Moses wasn't Egyptian. He wasn't Atlantean. The throne had to pass to another male after the death of Pharaoh. And since Moses, Pharaoh's adopted son, was no longer contender to the throne, it fell to Nu-ghan. Now, see, Moses probably could have tried to finagle that if he really wanted to. He could have been Pharaoh. Moses could have been Pharaoh. But it went to Nu-ghan. Nu-ghan and his courtiers were said to reside in Har Baoth, which apparently was close to the route the Hebrews were to take toward the wilderness of the Sinai. In the book of Arkaban, Moses said, "What then shall be done?" The king said, "Behold, the pestilence has overspread Najah and Erebena. The pestilence has overspread Najaut, wherever that is, but I know that's around the same area of Egypt. And Arabena. Come on. Stop playing. That's the play. Arabenia. So we're saying the whole Libya, the whole Abyssinia, Ethiopia. The pestilence spread. Let's go. Behold, the pestilence or the curse spread throughout the entire Arabenia. One more time, man. The entire Arabenia was overspread by this pestilence that the Creator put upon it, so that his people can be straight. Now, whether we're talking about being enslaved here or being enslaved here, let's go. Your people will be cut off from the traveling that way. Nu-ghan and his courtiers dwell in Harbaoth. Moses replied, my people shall march through Nu-ghan and Arabenia. Neither shall the pestilence come upon them, for the hand of the Almighty is in the matter. Alright, so let me see. Thesbys, however, is a great distance south, and no Horbat must not be the ancestral residence of Nu-ghan. So, we'll get more into this Nu-ghan, man. I just had to dig something up on it. Had to see what was cracking with this Nu-ghan. So, you tell me what worry, man. Hope y'all paying attention, man. Alright, so Nu-ghan will make it hard for thee. Tell me, therefore, how matters stand with thee. What you thinking, Moses? There we go. Moses said, Heya have planned this migration. It cannot fail. For witness thee what proof I have found. The Israelites were looking for a leader forth, even as I was named in the basket. And whether I have gone, the rabbis and their families are acquainted with the matter as if it were born in their souls. When we come together now, it's as if when we meet each other, when we talk, it was born in us, man, to be free. We weren't born to be servants, slaves. The king said, everywhere the oracles declare against thee and Heya, saying thou art in the hands of evil spirits. So the oracles of Egypt were saying Moses was in the hands of evil spirits. And the Creator saying Egypt's in the hands of evil spirits. Moses said, what are the oracles to me? Body bag. What's the oracles of hijacks to us? To feel assured one is in a good work. This is better than oracles. Just to know you're doing good work, to know you're on the right path, is better than oracles. The voice of Heya came to Moses saying, have the king give thee commission, who shall go in advance and examine the countries whither I lead thee. And when the commissioners have returned, thou shalt proclaim to my people that the commissioners say, and the people will be convinced and rise up and follow thee. So Moses asked the king for a commission of Egyptians, and the king appointed 33 men and allotted to them 7 months to accomplish the inspection, and he gave to the commission camels and asses to ride upon and to carry food to eat on the journey. Meanwhile, Moses sent Aaron around about through Egypt to inform the people of the commission, and also as to how they should make their outfits. And Aaron said unto the rabbis, be ye circumspect as to the outfits of our people, observing that they carry not away with them anything that is another's, even to a fraction. Don't take nothing from nobody. For thus hath Moses commanded me to say unto you, when the commissioners returned and made the report, which was favorable, Moses had the report sent amongst the Israelites, and Moses added, for there be such as, having little faith in Heya, will have faith in the words of the commissioners, the gods of the Egyptians, the hijacks of the Egyptians, were not idle, and they sent word by way of the oracles to the countries and nobles, to the effect that Moses has persuaded the king to hand the kingdom over to the foreign nations. To the foreign nations, knowing the king had no son eligible to the throne. The courtiers and nobles therefore importuned the king to choose one of the two things, either to banish Moses out of the country and put aside all arrangements for the migration of the Israelites, or, on the other hand, to abdicate the throne in favor of Nu-ghan. In the meantime, a whole year's drought came upon Egypt, and the rivers overflowed not, so that a famine was sure to fall upon many parts of the country. The king answered the demand of the countries and nobles with these words: I am Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Look ye to the threatened famine. Prove the stores for my people. I declare to you all, a new thing came unto our world. It's come unto our world, which is migration from bondage. So he's saying a new thing came into our world, which is migration from bondage, or migration from Egypt. You're in bondage now, so you're in Egypt now. Nor is it in the power of nobles or courtiers of the king to stay this inversion. When the courtiers received this answer, they said to one another, these are Moses' words, fashioned for the king's mouth. Certainly he hath lost the fear of the Lord and hearkeneth to the Great Spirit. So he lost the fear of the Lord. What Lord? The fear of Osiris, Thoth, and hearkened to the Great Spirit of the Israelites. Whoa, let's get that back. When the countries received this answer, they said to one another. So when they heard Moses say, look, man, or actually, you know what I'm saying, when they heard the king talking about, I declare to you all, a new thing come unto the world, which is migration from bondage, nor is it the power of nobles or courtiers or kings to stay this inverse. So y'all can't stop this. There's a new thing. There's a new vibration. It's called migration. The vibration is migration. The vibration is migration. Why is migration foreign to you, Negro? It has saved your life in the past. Do you think you should sit around in your cities forever being slaves? The vibration is migration from bondage. So when they heard this, that the king talking, they said, man, this king has lost his fear of the Lord. Right, Christians? The Lord. Who's the Lord? And hearkeneth to a great spirit of the Israelites, the great spirit. Hey, through his angels spake to Moses, saying, now is thy time. Go to the heads whom thou hast chosen, and appoint a time unto them of one place, and a time unto others of another place, and so on unto all the heads. And thou shalt make the armies go forth so numerous that the Egyptians will be overwhelmed. These then are heads, the chief rabbis, appointed by Moses, and the places in Egypt whence they were to depart from. Rasak, son of Abed, of the place Hagor. Ashemel, son of Esther. So it's going to go on to, is this play? They making up names? They just making up some names? All right. We're going to make our dismount real soon, man. You know, again, love to teach me to be priestly, man, for a wonderful presentation. I just love digging in on it, man. It's such a beautiful way to serve. Let's go down to verse 11. Hey, it said, And the heads shall have notice 70 and 7 days. So they're going to have 77 days notice. And they shall notify the rabbis of their places that due preparation shall be made for the start. Nevertheless, the time appointed unto thy people shall be kept secret with the heads and with the rabbis. And whatever number the rabbah can send forth, he shall notify the head. And when all things are in readiness, that number shall go forth on the day appointed, every one on the same day. And Moses appointed the month Abib, and the 10th day thereof, when all the people should start. Moreover, he said, so, look for this Abib. What is Abib on the 10th day? That they should start. These are the things where you're like, all right, man, are we repeating history? The month of Abib, Hebrew calendar. Abib in the Bible expand as the heir of corn. Remember, corn is indigenous to America, Mexico. The month of newly ripened grain. The first of the Jewish ecclesiastical year. Right. It began at the time of the vernal equinox on the 21st of March. It was called Nisan, after captivity. So they began their migration around this new harvest time. All right. And this is what we mean by, making sure that we are on our wave with the Creator. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing. This ain't no play with the Creator. You know what I'm saying? We're surfing the wave, but we're also paying attention to the signs to understand Abib. So if we're talking about the new harvest, would that make more sense than saying, migrate over the winter time without any shelter over the winter time? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got the elections, we got things happening. You still got to get hijack free as fast and soon as you can. But just pay attention that Moses appointed the month Abib. Newly ripe grain, the month of newly ripe grain, the month of newly ripe grain. So Moses appointed the month of newly ripe grain, the beginning of the new year, the 10th day thereof, when all the people should start. And moreover, it was nice. It was a new year. It was the new beginning. They started a new journey in a new year, in a new beginning. See the trend? It wasn't snowing. It wasn't winter when everybody's bunkered down. And moreover, he said unto the heads. Moreover, he said unto the heads, ye shall see to it that the night before they start, even at the hour of sunset, in the moment thereof, every family shall offer a lamb in sacrifice. And every man and every woman, every child that can speak, shall covenant unto Heya in the blood of the lamb. When the time of the slaughter is at hand, the family shall stand around, and the lamb shall be in the midst, bound head and foot. And when the knife is raised for the blow, no one shall speak. For that which is to be shall be the covenant of the blood of the lamb against Egypt. You have a covenant of the blood of the lamb against bondage. And when the throat is cut across and the blood flowing, they shall all say in Egypt, the lamb of Heya in Egypt, the land of Heya is dead. In Egypt, the lamb of Heya is dead. His God shall go hence with Israel. But Egypt shall be accursed from this night. Accept this my covenant with thee, O They call O Jehovah, and they say Is that Jehovah? Is this Jehovah? However they say, Hey, it ain't Jehovah. For innocent blood hath been shed as a testament before thee, that with tomorrow's rising sun I rise to lie not down again in Egypt forever. So we're out of here, baby. He said, man, when we got this new harvest and this new year and it's on and popping, man, we out of here, baby. You know? We ain't never going to be in bondage again forever. Thus went Aaron and Akkad, bearing this message in secret to the heads of the houses of Israel, saying unto them, Thus saith Moses, this is the commandment of Haya. This is the commandment of Haya. This is the commandment of Haya, who is almighty. And now, on the eve of success to the Israelites, the king of Egypt, being at the point of death, sent for Moses. And Moses went to him. The king said, If it shall be the Lord's will to take me off before thy people are gone, thou wilt have a great bother. A great bother. For my successor, Nu-ghan, Nu-ghan, hath a great hate toward Israel. Moses said, What then shall be done? The king said, Behold, the pestilence hath overspread Nu-ghan and Arabinia. Arabinia. All right, my people shall. All right, so this pestilence hath spread through Nu-ghan and Arabinia. Thy people will be cut off from traveling that way. Nu-ghan and his courtiers dwell in Harbal. Moses replied, My people shall march through Nu-ghan and Arabinia, neither shall the pestilence come upon them, for the hand of the Almighty is in the matter. So with pestilence, they might mean disease, or they might mean, just hijacks. Leotonis, learning that Moses was with the king, went in to see him. She said, Oh, my son and brother, thou art welcome. Behold, the trials of the royal court and the persistence of the nobles are the death of the king. To this the king said, And still I live, Leotonis, and still I live. But alas, these were his last words. For he laughed, and the blood bursted through his heart, and he died then and there, even in Moses' arms. Did you read that in your King James Version? That the Pharaoh, that the king of Egypt, Moses' pops, Moses was his only son, even if not by blood. And he died in his son Moses' arms. Ooh, and what happens next? Man? I'll just give you a teaser. Haya, through his angels, said unto Moses, When the body of the king is embalmed and put away, thou shalt go quickly to thy people, for he who cometh to the throne is under the voice of the Lord Baal, and he will try to prevent the departure of my chosen. So Moses left the capital and did as commanded. And on Nu-ghan being crowned, he at once issued the following decree, Behold me, I am Pharaoh, king of Egypt, of bondage and ruler of the world. God hath raised his voice in my dominion, saying, Hail thou, Son King, Son King, Son King of the corporeal world. Behold, I give to thee all the living that are on the face of the earth and in the waters of the earth, to be thine, to keep forever. And I say unto thee, what is thine own is thine own, and thou shalt have dominion in thy own way. For I made all that are alive on the earth to be thine forever. So that's what he's saying. Through what are the beasts of the field, the fish of the water, the man of the earth, and the living I created for thee, and thou shalt possess therein from everlasting to everlasting, and the life of the living gave I into thy keeping. And I say unto thee, the house of Pharaoh have I created, and it is my house also. Are you not like unto the Egyptian? So we know that the Most High is using the house of Egypt. Why? As static. Why? Because you need it. You needed the static. But I mean, just, I don't want to forget about this one part, man, as we make this dismount. As we make this dismount. The Sun King, Baal, the Sun King, Lord Baal. Aya through his angels said unto Moses, when the body of the king is embalmed and put away, thou shalt go quickly to thy people, for he cometh to the throne under the voice of the Lord. Baal, the Sun King, Baal, the Sun King, Baal. All right. And Moses dipped. He left the capital and did as commandment. Now, I want to see if they still playing with this link, man. Are you still playing? Oh, they still playing. Oh, they still playing. They're still playing with our Baal link, but list of demons, I might just pull up here. Alright, list of demons in the air. Alright, so these are, I'm sure they'll get to it, but King Solomon had like 70 something or even more probably demons that were, that he had power over with whatever technology he had. And at the very top, you have King Baal. King Baal at the very top. All right, this is the Baal situation. You got the dukes, you got the kings, you got Baal. Baal's first king of hell. He has 3 heads, all that stuff, man. So, you already know what time that is, man. You got to dodge the hijack at all time. Got to stay up, suit up, choose up at all time. But this was the energy and the voice that came after that particular Pharaoh died. The Sun King, the Nu-ghan. Nu-ghan. Came with that Baal, man. And put it on you, man. So again, love to teach me to be priestly, man, for a tremendous drop. Keep it coming, brother. We love you, man. We love you, brother. Let's go back to the top, man. Make a dismount. How we doing? I've got about 10 minutes. Beautiful. I might be able to do a double dismount. I really want to get some of this drop out my good bro, man, Higher Mark, man. He's been just lighting the way, man, in so many ways, man. I mean, he's been, Higher, man, been hitting nothing but uppercuts, man, for a long time, man. Truly surfing the wave beautifully. This one, I think something's with the audio, so I think we might need earphones for it. Let me just check it, though, because it might be cool. I know he said. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Haha. Good to see you all again. I miss y'all. All right, we got a beautiful dismount there. Let's go.
Busy. Trying to make it happen. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me take this off the screen real quick. Hope everyone is doing well, man.
I'm going to get into this one part right quick. We got 10 minutes. I'm going to jump right. I'm a belly flop, brother. I'm a belly flop in, man. Let's go. Take it away. Higher Mark, man. Belly flop, belly flop.
Hijacked.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Because listen. See, they represent you. They are not you. Okay, then when you go get a lawyer, is that lawyer you? No. He represents you. So that's what they do. They know you don't want shit. So if you go in there saying, lawyer, oh man, yeah, I know I hired you and everything, but please tell them to give me no probation and I don't want to do no time. So you're not asking to be free. You're asking for probation. probation or parole, and you're asking your lawyer, that's what you've been asking your black Congress. You've been asking them for probation. We've been asking them for probation and not to be jailed, when the true solution is to be free.
Wow. We just belly flop. Now, y'all go check every minute of this. We just got 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna, man, what a beautiful belly flop when you surfing the wave with your brothers. Man, when you become water, ain't it a beautiful thing? Kings to higher mark. Let's go, bro. Take it away.
The true solution is to be free. We ain't asked to be free. We ain't asked to be a part of your system. And for you to be a part of your system and to be black, that's what we got. We got that. Because we ain't demand to be indigenous. Okay? But that time is over with. That's behind us now. That's behind us. Get behind. Get behind. Because we're indigenous and we demand to be indigenous. And you get it? And we want our land. Alright? So yeah, y'all. You know, check it out, man. Check it out. Okay, all that is left is reflecting the black president protecting him and the first lady from insults and showing up the careers of black mayors and congressmen, all of that, and getting paid. Black politics is over, at least until the day when enough of us walk out of the democratic poverty. No, walk out of the cities. You know what I'm saying? Black politics is over, at least until the day when enough of us walk out of the cities.
Bang.
To build something new.
Bang.
Something that does not yet exist.
Bang.
We must separate from the children of Cain. Man, I don't know what to tell you. This ain't no joke. I don't know what to tell you. You can dream it. Anything that you can dream can come true. See, if you don't know that, then you don't know the Creator. You don't know the Creator. You don't know my Father. You don't know my Father. Alright? So, National Advanced Colored People, you know, it was actually founded by wealthy Jews. National Association for Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, was actually founded by wealthy Jews and white philanthropists. For over 113 years, the NAACP has tried to control the political and social conversation of the black population at large, but they can't. Because anytime that you're a non-profit organization, it is in the contract of that non-profit organization. They can't interfere. They cannot interfere with politics. They have no say-so. They don't tell us that, do they? They don't tell you that non-profit organizations cannot interfere with governmental, you understand, policies, with politics. They can't proceed in none of that. So they have no say-so. So that's a lie, what they tell us, all right? Hijacking the media. Hijacking the media. The use of entertainment has been well-known weapons of mass distraction. With the Negro mind and body enslaved to carnal pleasures and entertainment, to carnal pleasures and entertainment, the soul and intellect cannot be stirred to revolution. I feel you on that. That's my man right there. He go way back. Man, and even though he spent all of Africa, you know, that's all he know. With that brother, man, that brother X-Clan is serious.
Okay.
X-Clan is serious, and we came a long way with him. I don't knock nothing from nobody. He gave us spiritual empowerment. You know, he didn't put the American indigenous in it. You know, but he brought us up to a level, and I appreciate it. The psychological covert war on hip-hop. All right, we already know about that. So y'all dig into it. Meat man is good food. Look at this. Race-based science. That's what these dudes is paid to do. Alright, man, I ain't trying to get on into that. Okay. That's what these people were paid to do. They were paid to do this. Set us up on tables, man. One to look at our inside, one to look at our outside, one to look inside our body.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? One to look inside the body. You know.
That actually reminds me of something, man. And, you know, Kings to Higher Mark, man. Y'all get this, man. Y'all make sure you subscribed and getting fed with this great food, man. Everybody that's dropping a drop, get the flat drop, man. Get you a short film drop. You know what I'm saying? Something for the young ones. Man, get you some of this ancient petrified forest drop, man. Stop playing. But right quick, man, the brother Hiram said something that reminded me of a link I've been meaning to drop. As you know, I got billions of links up here. Let's get in this one, man. Love to the king. Man, you know I'm bad with names, man. You know what I'm saying? Chris Duncan, man. Chris Duncan. Kings to Chris Duncan, man. The brother just hit me with amazing links. I'm going to get to him, King. I'm going to get to him, man. But I did pull this one up. And I just wanted to get this part of it, man. I mean, look. I'm going to leave this link, man. ISIS in Central America. The genesis of ISIS went everywhere. The temple of ISIS had missionaries all over the world. We're talking about ISIS. We're talking about Egypt. Mesopotamian civilization began due west of the most western point of Africa. Began due west. All right, we got some of these Olmecs. Where am I getting? Oh, yeah, the brother's on that Cuzco drop, man. And he has some amazing drop with the cross as well that we're going to get to. And just surf the wave all over again, man. But, yo, then came the conquistadors. It's the pot that linked exactly what Hiram just showed. This is what they did. You would need to know. In the beginning, the Indians regarded the Spaniards as angels from heaven. You keep hearing that, right? Montezuma. Oh, the white angels and these white people. But these lack of melanated situations, these were the angelic mixtures of breeds that were coming that had no melanin. And when they were worshiping these angels and they knew that their offspring had no melanin and they were calling them white, as some call it now, they say, oh, the white devil this. But they, were also, a devil is an angel, right? So in the beginning, the Indians regarded the Spaniards as angels from heavens or fallen angels from heaven. Devastation of the Indies. Kings to Uno, getting to the root, dropping that devastation of the Indies on your boy, on the fan. Now check out this. I mean, I know, it's probably crazy to see with the black and white, but, see what's going on here. It says, with my own eyes, I saw Spaniards cut off the nose, hands, and ears of Indians. So this is a quote from Bartolome de las Casas, Devastation of the Indies, 1552. With my own eyes, I saw Spaniards cut off the nose, hands, ears of Indians, male and female, without provocation, so they weren't even provoked. Merely because it pleased them to do so, they cut off your mama and daddy's nose, ears, hands, just for fun, without provoke. Likewise, I saw how they summoned the Chalkees, and the chief rulers to come, assuring them with safety. And when they peacefully came, they were taken captive and burned. And here you have these, this burning taking place. Look at this. They took all these people captive and they burned them. Look, they're burned. And look at what he's doing. See how this devil here, fallen angel devil, is holding this baby by the legs, about to bash him up against this stone. This is what they did to your children, Negro. Copper color Indian family. Seeds of the Creator. The Spaniards took babies from their mother's breast, The Spaniards took babies from their mother's breast. The Spaniards took the babies from the mama's breast, grabbing them by their feet and smashing their heads against rocks. Smashing their heads against rocks. What does it take to smash a baby's head against a rock? What do you have to be but a devil? They built a long gibbet, long enough for the toes to touch the ground and prevent strangling, and hang 13 natives at a time in honor of Christ our Savior. They hang 13 Negroes at a time in honor of Christ our Savior. Don't the KKK burn crosses on your lawn in honor of Christ? Don't you remember Christ and Christians, the brotherhood of warriors? With the sword they enforce peace. With the sword they enforce peace. 13 natives at a time in honor of Christ our Savior and the 12 apostles. In honor of them, they burnt you alive, Negro, and bashed your babies against the wall. Then straw was wrapped around their torn bodies, and they were burned alive. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Look at this, woman hanging right here. As the Spaniards went with their war dogs hunting down Indian men and women and children, see the children? It happened that a sick Indian woman right here, who could not escape from the dogs, sought to avoid being torn apart by the dogs. So in order for her to escape her child and herself being torn apart by these dogs, in this fashion, she took a cord and tied her year-old to her leg, her 1-year-old to her leg. And then she hanged herself from a beam. But the dogs came and tore the child apart before the creature expired. Their dogs came and ripped this baby apart even before the baby died. But the dogs came and tore the child apart before the creature expired. The baby, they called the baby a creature. Bartolome, the Spaniard, called the baby that got ripped apart by the dogs a creature. However, a friar baptized it. And then they baptized the baby after getting ripped apart by the dog. This is what you're dealing with, people. This is what we're dealing with. They would cut an Indian's hands and leave them dangling by a shred of skin, and they would test their swords and their manly strength on captured Negroes, Indians, and place bets on the slicing off of heads or cutting of bodies in half with one blow. So they captured Negroes and placed bets on slicing off their heads and cutting the bodies in half with one blow of their sword. One cruel captain traveled over many leagues, capturing all the Indians he could find. Since the Indians, or Negroes, or copper-coloreds, according to the 1828 Webster Dictionary, would not tell him who their new lord was or chief. So, since the Negroes or Indians would not tell them who their new chief was, he cut off the hands of some and threw others to the dogs, and thus they were torn to pieces. And this is what's happening in these pictures here, man. So, love to my man Chris Duncan, man. Hope I got the name right, Chris Duncan. Dropping it on us, man. They threw into these holes all the Indians they can capture of every age. So they made these holes. They threw all the Negroes in that they can capture. Pregnant and confined women, children, old men were left stuck on the stakes until the pits were filled. The rest they killed with lances and daggers and threw them to their war dogs, who tore them up and devoured them. And that's what's going on right here. So as we're surfing the wave, man, as we make our dismount, this is your reality. And it wasn't meant to be forever. And the Most High, is turning your mountains back into trees. Our oxygen is returning. All praise the Creator. Hey, 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 hey.
Hello friends, my name's Alex Korekis, and I want to welcome you to the Finding Lost Civilization series. Our journey today is going to be very exciting because we're going to the petrified forest located in Arizona. I tell you, this will be a fun adventure as we search for signs of ancient life.
Semane
friends, you might ask yourself, what is this pueblo doing here in this vast, desolate, and dry region? One of the things that we have to remember is that several thousands of years ago that the weather here in the American Southwest was much more friendly, conducive to life conditions. In other words, there was water available. Well, we know in the 11th and 12th century AD that there were several severe droughts in this region. And so we know through archaeological records that by the year 1380 AD that this pueblo was empty. And presumably the people left for an area where conditions were better for living.
Coca-coon, 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 Coca-coon. Just remember something. Remember that Coca-coon. Coca-coon. Oh, Coca-coon. Don't run from us now. Nu-ghan, Nu-ghan. Where is our Y'all might remember them talking about that city. And to just put it right there in Arizona.